So like an electronics store and an art store collided is what these spaces look like, is what they're trying to look like. I was an engineering student at UCSD and felt like I didn't get enough hands-on experiences, so I created a lab there, and then they brought me over to Qualcomm to design the same lab and make it bigger and do the engineering. So I used to do these robot hats, actually. And so robot crafting is like a subset of those robot hats.
Target the current Thinkabit experience to middle school kids, because typically that's where both minorities and girls start to drop out of math and science. And there's a lot of really wonderful programs for kids to do coding and to do engineering and even making. But one of the things that captures the kids is when they realize that to do technology and to be an engineer is not just sitting in a dark room with your pocket protector. I'm of that age. And it's creative, and that also plays very well for a company like Qualcomm, because not only for workforce development with the STEM and engineering, but creativity is at the heart of innovation, invention, and patents. So absolutely, I probably came to engineering from crafting and glasswork and sewing and building a long time ago.
So Virginia Tech has 7 different locations in the National Capital Region. We do graduate education and research. That's keyed towards the region's needs and what Virginia Tech's strengths are. So we think we bring together kind of the strengths of a major research university with the urban environment. And a project like this fits into our mission on very many levels, because we have an educational mission to serve both our graduate students and the larger student population. We also want to make students aware of what Virginia Tech does, and then this also helps us contribute to the research mission in education and how we develop our workforce. And I think that's especially important with efforts like Thinkabit and makerspaces, because we've seen a lot of them come up in the last few years, for example, around 3D printing or other types of technologies that are available. So a lot of schools are putting them in, a lot of schools are adding capabilities like what we'll have here. This has a very education focus, very much an education focus, and also it allows us to see what impact is this going to have short-term and long-term, and are there ways that we can improve that.
It's phenomenal. I think it's a true testament of what partnership should be from industry and education. So this will be a flagship, I think, for the United States, for the world for that matter. I think Qualcomm being an international company, partnering with Virginia Tech, it's been an amazing partnership.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I like to say we're on a startup timetable with university mentality. Those two things don't normally come together, but we've been doing all right.
So when you look at this, decide.
So I'm coming from it from an engineering perspective, and how do I get young people to be exposed to how cool engineering is? Because it is cool, right?
Would you guys like to see that in action? Yeah! All right, let's go ahead and plug that in and see what happens. Nice. He's like, which way do I go? Over there. Oh, yeah. I did a dance. Let's do it. All right, give that a applause.
Thinkabit is not, we're not revolutionizing education. This is STEM. We are technologists, not educators. This is STEM exposure. And like you say, not every kid is going to go into engineering or a science field. But those fields touch so much on artistry and being a lawyer and such that you really need to be cognizant of STEM and STEM fields and fluent in those languages.
If you can get your markers and write down what you felt about today, and support your claims with evidence. So since you're the first group of kids to actually be in this lab, so let us know what you think. And if you liked something, let us know why you liked it. If you didn't like something, let us know why you didn't like it. Support your claims with evidence. Remember in the morning you went through the world of work with Miss Jen and you learned about different careers. And then you went through here, you got an engineering experience, you learned about circuits and LEDs and building your robocraft. So let us know what you thought and write it down.
It's a great resource. Some schools are starting to put these types of labs into their schools, and what they're calling a makerspace. And so I've considered it for my school, but usually the makerspace is kind of a little bit self-contained, only a couple hour experience, where I will have projects in my classes that will take days and weeks, such as robotics and bridge building and whatever. So I really like this. It was just kind of a quick overview, a little bit more than what I do at my school at this point. I have not introduced Arduinos yet, but I'm going to by second semester. And there's a variety of other little different things that we can do with electronics that I think really pull together a lot of things. Because the way we are now in the 21st century, most things interface with something electronic. And so there's an important need for the student to understand the mechanical side, the programming side, and all the electronic side.
I've never been involved in an educational field before, and it's been a wonderful, fulfilling experience, and I think the sky is the limit.
Somewhat of it is selfish in the sense of, like, I personally like to build interactive art structures, but the aha moment is when I realized kids liked it too, and I was like, yes, okay, cool. And so, and the team at Qualcomm has been really supportive, and they augmented that experience with the World of Work piece, and so it then becomes more well-rounded.
And a group of us came up with the concept of, what if we brought students to Qualcomm and gave them a day experience of what we do here for work and give them hands-on robocrafting and engineering. The big takeaway is having the students be exposed to careers they didn't know existed prior. So learning their self-awareness of their strengths and their interests and their values is sometimes the first time they've ever had a conversation like this with themselves. It's really sad, but most people can identify what they're not good at very, very easily. And if you ask somebody, hey, what are you good at? Oftentimes it takes some deep reflection. So it could be something academic, it could be something athletic, it could be something about their character. Right. So by identifying those, they're almost empowering themselves by saying, yeah, I am good at this. And then going to interests. So what do you do in your free time? And it could be social media, volunteering, cooking, things that you like to do. It could be academic and athletics as well. And then to values, what's important to you, honesty, integrity, family. So, and then you look at it and you're like, wow, I now can answer the question, what do I want to do when I grow up? Yeah. I can just say, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm interested in, this is what I value. And I think that's something that is not, that topic and that discussion at 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, they're ready for it. They're ready for it. And sometimes I think education, they go so fast with all the academics that you're missing the relevance of why it matters.
At Williamsburg, we have transitioned our technology program a little bit more from the vocational, more to the 21st century skills, such as 3D printing, CAD drafting, robotics. So I'm taking different things in those related fields and trying to put them together and allow the kids to see what jobs are available when they get out of school. Even though they've got a few more years to go, I would like them to hopefully think about a career, something to do with architecture, engineering, or computers.
Really just, can we provide even more experiences that allow young people to realize that engineering is just a medium to create, and on multiple levels. So our target audience initially was middle schools, but can we do K through 12? Can we do university level? Can we raise awareness about patents and intellectual property, and what does that mean, and why is that important? And really just providing these experiences to allow people realizing that engineering is cool and it's fun and it's not as scary as maybe some people think it is.
There's a lot of adults in this world who are looking for different opportunities, and right now, we're all of in San Diego Thinkabit. We're all of 6 people, so I have to temper some of my aspirations here. But I'm very interested. I work with our Smart Cities folks as well. I'm very interested, and we've had programs in the past for training of and exposure of veterans. And I'm very interested in how some of these concepts can apply to adult retraining, and not only adult retraining for technology fields and technician fields, but also for teachers. One of the big challenges with Thinkabit labs here or anywhere else is once you get done with the wonderful painted room and such, you need what I kind of call crassly a teacher pipeline. Yeah. You need teachers that are dedicated, that are inspired, that this is what they want to do, because otherwise it becomes a cute, empty space. Right. And so Jim Egenrieder and I were talking about the possibilities with some of the retraining programs for maybe veterans to actually give back some of that knowledge to kids, maybe retraining into counselors or teachers. Right. So, you know, for my engineering and my project mind, there's lots of places this can go.